Hey everybody, GP here, and wanted to invite you all to Tea with G, which is the basically it's a satsang that I do on Sundays, and for a long time, a while now, I've been doing it every other Sunday. Kind of needed a rest from the repetition of it. But recently, there's been a lot of changes that have been taking place in my life and the like. And I'm now going to be doing it every week again, like I used to do. And the reason is, and in addition to the reason, my kind of call for help is that the best way to do self-inquiry, it's not a it's not a it's not really a process. It's not a task. It's not a bunch of steps you fulfill to do things. There's a lot of stuff in spirituality that is, but non-dual self-inquiry doesn't work like that. It's much more individualized. It's much more about, it's subjective, right? Self-realization is a subjective experience. It's not something anybody can give you or tell you about. It's like, coming to know who you are, or at least glimpses into who you are, comes from within you. It's like nobody can tell you what an orange tastes like. We can do our best to describe it, but let me just hand you an orange, let you taste it, or what a kiss feels like. I can tell you all about it, but it's not the same as when you're actually doing it. So the self exploration, that is what self-inquiry is like that. Now, it's really useful, really, really useful to be able to do that with someone who's a skilled guide, right? Or at least further along the road than you are, right? It doesn't have to be a Buddha or the like, or a Krishna or somebody. It could be a brother or sister in the sangha, in the group, those who are on the same path. It can even be it would call your same level, but they're not all wrapped up in your particular story and attachments and the like. So they'll be able to see things that you won't be able to, and help you through them. That's what satsang is really all about. That's what Tea with G is all about. It's a conversation. And, there's only so much conversation I can have on YouTube when I'm just dealing with chat and the like. I have to go a lot on intuition and a bit of generalization. But the real energy of it is when I'm answering someone's question. Right? For a while now, I've been doing a thing like a discourse, a talk in the beginning. It really started just because people are kind of late coming on, and I was just kind of talking a bit before the questions started coming in. That became kind of a thing in and of itself. And then recently, over the last couple of months, I've done some videos about specific spiritual topics and non-duality that people would find interesting, and some questions that I've gotten. And what I noticed was when I just pick a subject that I thought people would be useful to folks, it didn't have the same kind of energy. It didn't have the same kind of oomph to me. It was not as alive, and that showed me something. First off, oftentimes when a video like that is made about a subject, it gets taken in more intellectually than by the heart. It's it becomes about things that are going to happen, and what the dream and the Kali Yuga, which is some of the stuff that I've done. It's all useful in its place, but I realized that at least for me personally, my juices get flowing when I'm answering a question, when I can feel somebody's heart is really craving freedom. They're really craving to know who they are. They're there may be a lot of suffering in their life, but their heart's really open to spiritual guidance, and sometimes energetic guidance or healing modalities and that sort of thing. I get questions that are more like knowledge questions about karma and reincarnation and things like that. Well and good, and I answer those. But when somebody's really dying to get into the inquiry, when it's becoming the central focus of their life, well, I'm all in. It's what I like the best. So as I'm starting up doing Tea with G once a week again, I'm inviting you all to bring a tea or a coffee. I tend to kind of like my cafe lattes, or your beverage of choice, chai, whatever you like to sip on, matcha. And I'm going to rely increasingly on the questions that come in. So I'm kind of inviting you in advance to make questions and think of them and ponder them. What really, really matters in terms of your spiritual growth? Now, sometimes the spiritual growth has to involve some emotional healing as well. It does. Oftentimes it does. A lot of the time, yeah, it does. So they're not mutually exclusive. But that tends to come up on its own. If you're really, really open and doing the exploration, you'll run into those things where you realize you're really blocked. Your emotions are suppressed. You're really constrained. And it's driving this desire for freedom. So, yeah, that's what's happening starting this Sunday, the 18th. It'll be every Sunday after that. It'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern, which during daylight savings time is 6 p.m. UTC. After daylight savings time, it will be 7 p.m. UTC. And we go on out in and out of daylight saving, summertime at different times, which is it's a crazy time of the year. But anyway, please join me. Please bring your questions, and let's look together. Let's be a sangha that is there for each other's support, and that has been the mood. It's been a very, very supportive. It is a very, very supportive group that has been coming regularly, and those that drop in. We get the occasional one who's got a bone to pick or something, but they're actually very rare. So anyway, dear friends, I hope you'll join me and take to heart this whole, the spirit, the energy, the real visceral roots of self-inquiry, because it's not intellectual. There's some intellect involved. There's some precision involved. There's some looking at beliefs and that sort of thing. And that's definitely part of it. But it's not the heart and soul of it. It's something much more broad, much deeper, that includes all of the aspects of the human being. So, see you then. Till then, namaste.